How is it going, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Between the Lines. First and foremost, I just wanted to say thank you so much for clicking and watching this video. If you've never watched this before, this is my bookie's College Football Saturday and NFL Sunday show, and we have so many great games to get into this weekend. I'm not in the highest spirits right now because if you can't see down here, I have my Cubs jersey on. I'm filming this on Thursday, so knock on wood, they won yesterday and they're moving on, but what better way to take my mind off of them than talking some football bets? Let's get straight into it. But right before we do that, a quick disclaimer that, as I just said, I am filming this on Thursday. So if some of the lines move from now till then, shit happens basically. But also, if I am going to change some of my picks, I will post about it on my bookie, other social medias, TikTok, Instagram, X, all over there. Let's start off with our college football record, where after week 5, we are sitting at 22-17 on the season. We had ourselves a damn good weekend last weekend, and especially the cherry on top was winning both of the biggest games of the weekend. Alabama plus 3.5, Oregon plus 3.5. I wish I took them both money line, honestly, but we will always take those free points. And now let's go and get started with, at 11 a.m. on Saturday morning, number 14, Iowa State going into Cincinnati against the Bearcats. I believe it is the Bearcats. The Bearcats are minus 1.5. The over-under is sitting here at 54.5. This was one of these two teams I lost on last weekend. I bet on Cincinnati, Kansas, and I took Kansas minus 4.5. I didn't really expect Cincinnati to come out firing, and they did, but I absolutely love the Iowa State Cyclones here. I know they're ranked, and when it comes to gambling, the number in front of your team, the number, whatever you're ranked, it doesn't really matter. But looking at this year, how much of a dog Iowa State has been this year, and you're giving them plus money on the road? Iowa State plus 1.5, excuse me. I wish it was plus 5.5, is an absolute lock. I might even touch that money line as well, but in one of these weird games where you look at this line and you're kind of questioning to yourself, you take that point all day. Next up, we move over to Kentucky going into 12th ranked Georgia, who, my God, they need themselves a win. They look good against Bama, but just for morale around there, they need one badly. They're minus 20.5 in this game. The over-under is sitting at 48.5. And look, I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to keep it sweet. I already just said how Georgia needs a comeback win. They don't only need a comeback win, they need to absolutely dominate this week to bring the vibes back up in Athens. And against a Kentucky team that is just not it whatsoever, they look terrible. I'm taking Georgia minus 20.5, maybe even minus 28.5, maybe even minus 35.5, if the book will even let me do that. I think that Georgia is going to absolutely smoke them. It will not be close. Then we go over to another line that kind of has me thinking a little bit. Saturday at 2:30, 9th-ranked Texas goes into Florida in the Swamp. The Gators are plus 6.5. The over-under is sitting at 41.5. Why do we keep giving Florida these close lines? I mean, I love it. I love it personally. I've seen how much DJ Lagway sucks at football. I've seen how bad this Florida team is. They are firing their coach after Saturday. How can you look at this? And I know that Texas has not been the best this year whatsoever. How can you not take the Longhorns by 6.5? If you tell me that they're not going to beat this beat up, sad Florida team by at least a touchdown, you're crazy. You are absolutely crazy. Arch is going to have a day. That defense is going to be fantastic, as they have been all year for Texas. Texas minus 6.5. Then we go over to a game that I honestly never thought in my life would say, you know what? Yeah, I'm very happy that College Game Day is going to this game. I cannot believe, and yes, I know they won last year, but I can't believe that we are sitting here with a 16th ranked Vanderbilt team going into 10th ranked Alabama. It blows my mind. Vandy, they're plus 10.5. The over-under is sitting at 55.5. I am so excited to watch this ball game. But the biggest thing that screams to me is I see this game going one of two ways. I either see Alabama blowing the doors off of Vanderbilt, ending this fun season for them damn near, or Vanderbilt keeps it a game, and I think that they might win this game outright. But I am not that confident in them, but what I am confident in is both of these teams, they are going to score some points. Putting the over-under at 55.5, that is just way too low. Give me all the points in the entire world here. I want to see a shootout. I want to see a great game, and I probably will sprinkle Vandy plus 10.5 and maybe even touch the money line as well. Then we go over to a line that I kind of laughed at to myself at 2:30 on Saturday, number 7th ranked, who needs themselves a big win, just like Georgia. Penn State going into UCLA against the Bruins. UCLA, they're plus 24.5. The over-under is sitting at 50.5. If you have watched one UCLA game this year, you probably didn't watch the full game because you turned it off after the first quarter. This team is abysmal. They are terrible. They fired their head coach. They are just absolutely dead in the water. And then you look at Penn State, they're pissed off. They've seen the media. They've seen everybody talk about them this week saying, what the hell happened in overtime? They've heard the hate about Drew Aller that has been tossed around everywhere. It's the Nittany Lions minus 24.5. They are going to have an absolute field day at UCLA and fly back to Pennsylvania, some big winners. Then we go over to the night games where we start off at 6:30 with Mississippi State at number 6 ranked Texas A&M in one of the best atmospheres in all of college football, even though they are Colts. A&M, they're minus 14.5. The over-under is sitting at 55.5. But I want to talk about Mississippi State. Mississippi State, everybody was wondering after they beat Arizona State, how real are they? Was this just a fluke upset win? Is Arizona State not that good? What the hell happened? And then we saw them play Tennessee. And we didn't just see them play Tennessee. We saw them play Tennessee down to the wire, down to the last second. I mean, they looked fantastic. Even though they lost, that is a huge program win in my book for Mississippi State. And I think that momentum is going to roll with them again at Kyle Field. And I love Mississippi State plus 14.5. The most I see them losing this game by is 10 points or maybe even 14. And that's still fine. The fact they're giving you 2 touchdowns and the hook as well is ridiculous. I am riding with the Bulldogs all day. Then another game that kind of has me scratching my head at 6:30. Number 3 ranked Miami going into number 18th ranked Florida State. And when you talk about teams and you talk about pure dominance this season, the first one that comes to my head, it's not number 1 ranked Ohio State. It is number 3 ranked Miami. They have just been about pure domination, fantastic offense all year. They've looked great. Carson Beck is having himself a season. Their defense is competent. And the fact that you're getting 4.5 points, minus 4.5, I feel like this line should be at least minus 7.5. A lot of people are doubting Miami, and it shocks me even more after seeing what happened to Florida State last year when they played against Virginia. But also, I do think that Virginia might be legit. I think they might be a real contender. The over-under sitting at 53.5 as well. I wouldn't mind touching the over whatsoever, but give me the Hurricanes minus 4.5. I feel like this is an easy one. This is a straight shot. Simple. Then lastly, to put us to bed at the 9:30 slate at 9:30 p.m. Central Time, the Duke Blue Devils going into Cal. This one just was kind of a no-brainer for me. Besides their bad loss to San Diego State, Cal has been a powerhouse this year. They have looked great. They have looked fantastic, and I think that they honestly might blow the doors off of Duke. I think they might win this game by 14 plus. I love Cal plus 3, plus also just Duke at the same time. I am just not a believer in the Blue Devils whatsoever. But that is going to do it for my college football picks this weekend. We start off with Iowa State plus 1.5. Then we go to Georgia minus 20.5. Then Texas minus 6.5. The over in the Vandy, Alabama game at 55.5. Penn State minus 24.5. Mississippi State plus 14.5. Miami minus 4.5. And Cal plus 3. But now we got to go over and we got to talk some NFL ball, and starting off with our record. We actually improved. If you've been watching this show the entire season, we were terrible. There is actually no other way to put it on the NFL so far this season. But yesterday, We revived. We revived this past Sunday. I don't know why I said yesterday, and now we are only 2 games back from being 500. And we start off in London for Vikings Browns. The Browns are plus 3.5 in this game. The over-under is sitting at 36 points. This is a shitter. When we talk about bad football games, this is one of them right here. And honestly, I don't care who wins this game. Number one, I hope the Vikings lose as a Bears fan. But this game right here just sucks. Give me the over at 36 points. That just seems way too low. The Browns defense has been great all year. Same with the Vikings, but I think it's going to be at least a 21-17 ball game. I feel like that's a great final score prediction as well. Over 36 points. Then we go over to noon, and this is one that made me just think, what the hell are we doing here? The Giants going into New Orleans against the Saints, and the Saints by far have been the worst team in the NFL this season. They are minus 1.5 point favorites in this game. The over-under is sitting at 42 points. But I watched that Giants team last week look great. The Saints look good too. They put up a fight with Buffalo. They did. But that Giants team, they're gritty, they're fun, and they still believe that they have some life in this season. I think that last week, the Saints putting up that fight against the Bills, that was kind of them throwing in the white flag. If they lost, they're waving the white flag. They're surrendering. Give me Giants money line. I don't even want to touch that plus 1.5. I think they win this game outright easily. It's that simple. Then going over to noon, this is a really interesting one. The Denver Broncos in Philly versus the Eagles. The Eagles are minus 3.5 in this game. The over-under is sitting at 43.5. I don't even really have to say much, because if you go and look into the Eagles record covering the spread at home with Jalen Hurts playing quarterback and just this whole new regime in general, it's unbelievable. It seriously is crazy. They have already been a wagon all year this year. Give me Philly minus 3.5. They're going to go in there. I think they're going to beat this Broncos team by at least a touchdown guaranteed. It might be 2, and it might be 3. Philly is a lock. Then heading over to another noon game, we have another team that's kind of dead in the water, like I was talking about earlier with the New Orleans Saints. We have the Dallas Cowboys going into New York against the Jets. The Jets are plus 2.5. The over-under is sitting at 47.5. And look, if you watched that Jets game on Monday night, you saw it from Aaron Glenn. You saw it from Justin Fields. You saw it from everybody out there. In New York, it looks like they're giving up, man. They're 0-4. They believe in what they have. They do for sure, but it just looks dead. And if you watch the other side of this game, the Dallas Cowboys, the Cowboys look fantastic. Dak Prescott this year looks incredible. He is playing amazing football. I can't believe that this line is only 2.5 points. Give me the Dallas Cowboys minus 2.5. They're going to go in there. They're going to get to business. That's an easy one. And now we go over to our first 3 o'clock game, where we have the Tennessee Titans going into Arizona against the Cardinals. The Cardinals are minus 7.5 in this game. The over-under is sitting at 42. Look, the biggest thing that I needed to see watching this game was, number one, last week's Thursday Night Football. Holy cow, the Cardinals look bad. And I kind of don't like this pick at the same time, because they did have a mini bye playing on Thursday Night Football last week. But the Tennessee Titans, you saw what Cam Ward said himself. He said, we are ass and we need to lock the fuck in right now. And he could not be more correct. Give me the Titans plus 7.5. This is kind of like what I said about the Saints, how last week against the Bills, that was their last breath. This is the Titans' last breath. I don't know if they win this game. They probably don't, but I think that they keep it within a touchdown. Take Tennessee. And now we go over to what could have been the game of the week 100%, but with no Joe Burrow and this Bengals team, my God, they just look absolutely brutal right now. The Detroit Lions going into Cincinnati against the Bengals. This game just, yikes, man. You know how fun this could have been with Burrow playing in this? You know how great of a time it could have been? Give me the under at 49.5. I think that the final score might be Lions 40, Bengals 7. And that game goes under. But I think the Lions are going to put up a ton of points. The Bengals won't be able to keep up with them, and it will be an easy win for Detroit. And then it goes under. It goes under. This sucks. And now, lastly, for our last game of the show, we have Sunday Night Football. The New England Patriots going into Buffalo against the Bills. The over-under is sitting at 49.5. The Bills are 8.5 point favorites. first off, I don't know if it's just me or not, but I feel like Buffalo has been home literally every single week this year. I went and looked at it. They've been on the road for one game, I believe, and it was against the Jets. But they are just living at home right now down the season. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but they are so hot. They cannot stop playing good football, except they look kind of mid against the Saints last weekend. I think that Josh Allen is going to go in there and have himself some fun. I love the Bills -8.5 to go and beat the hell out of the Patriots. I think the Patriots are fun, and I think it's going to be fun in the first half, but then Buffalo goes out there and they run away with this game. But that is going to do it for my NFL picks for this weekend. We start off with the London game. We have the over at 36 points. Then we have Giants money line. Then we have the Eagles -3.5, the Cowboys -2.5, the Titans +7.5, the under in the Lions-Bengals game at 49.5, and then the Buffalo Bills -8.5. And that is going to do it for Between the Lines this week. Hopefully we have ourselves a fantastic Saturday and a great Sunday. But I wanted to say thank you guys for watching if you made it all the way through. We have such an incredible weekend, from MLB playoffs to all the games we just talked about to UFC 320. It is going to be awesome. Make sure to lock in your bets on my bookie, and I'll see you guys next Friday. Deuces.